This is the Kpopcast. It's your K-pop DJ Peter Lowe, and I'm joined by recurring show host and veteran K-pop fan Stephanie.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And special guest, YouTuber, dancer, and reactioner. It's SYJOfficial, aka Nathan. What is up, Nathan?
Hey, man, and hello, everybody. My name is Nathan, also known as SYJOfficial on YouTube. So, as DJ Peter just said, I'm known for making music video reactions and dance covers, and I actually educate on the K-pop culture itself, as well in a series on my channel. It's called K-pop University. So, if y'all are interested, feel free to come check out my channel. So, I'm actually pretty excited to be here today, since this is my first cross-platform collaboration. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. Welcome to the show, Nathan. This is so exciting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So today we'll be taking a look at 101's Energetic. And we've got 101 Stan, Nathan, to take us through it.
Woo! But first, our hit replays. Hit replays are songs we recommend you play on repeat for the week. So Nathan, what's making you hit replay?
Alright, Peter, so my hit replay for today is N-Flying's The Real. So this song was just relatively recently released. N-Flying is a K-rock band. They were originally 4 members, but now that they're 5 members, N-Flying welcomes Yoo Ho-sung. He was a former Produce 101 Season 2 trainee, and he was just recently added to the group with his comeback. So Ho-sung is known for his main vocal ability and his uncanny resemblance to Woo-hyun from Infinite. I always liked N-Flying's style, but I always thought that they were really missing something, but now that Ho-sung's in the group now, being their main vocal, I feel like N-Flying is complete. So their song, known as The Real, expresses the girl that they're in love with is quote-unquote the real deal, or how they say in the actual music video,
I see. That's a good one, and I like how we're going with the 101 theme for this episode for our hit replays.
Yeah.
So, Stephanie, I see that you've also got another Produce 101 hit replay here. So what was your pick for this week?
I do. So I'm going to be a little controversial and say that pick Samuel's 16 for my hit replay this week. So Samuel has a lot of drama surrounding him. For those who don't know, he had some notoriously unexpected, really surprising bad luck on an episode of Produce 101 back in May. What sets him apart is, well, not only his dashing good looks and his charisma, but he is actually half Mexican, half Korean. So he's unique in a lot of ways, and he has huge international appeal. So many American fans love him to death. And so when he really dropped in the rankings and finally got eliminated from the show, folks on this side of the pond were pissed. But he's got a new song out this week. It's called 16, reminding me how much of a baby he is. Oh, God. But it's really catchy. It reminds me a little bit of like a mix between Winner and Chris Brown. I know he's a fan of Chris Brown, so maybe he's emulating that style. And I like it. It's a lot of fun.
I know him from like the saddest puppy face he made when he was eliminated from the show.
Oh god, I miss the kid. I miss him so much.
But he's got amazing talent for only being 16 in Korean. Is that 15 in the US?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He dances better than me.
He's born in 2002, you guys.
2000. Oh my gosh. Idols these days are getting younger and younger every single year.
But, you know, he's going to grow up to be a very handsome man.
Yes.
Agreed.
Then everything's going to be all right. Moving right along. DJ P-Lo, what's your hit replay this week?
So I sort of cheated and I said 101 and their song Burn It Up. And it's my jam. Want to turn it up, burn it up. As one of our listeners actually pointed out from Twitter user What Will said, he tweeted that Burn It Up fills that BTS banger void. It's a dope ratchet electronic beat for banger clangers. So this is one that you want to turn it up when you want to burn it up for 101.
Burn it up. We burning bright. Burn it up. We burning bright.
I liked it too. This song is like right up my alley, Peter. Thanks for putting me onto it. I was dancing all through. Burn it up.
So moving on to our Daybach or Not for this episode. It's 101's Energetic.
Make me feel so high. 미치겠어. 날 멈출 순 없어. You make me feel so high. I'm so crazy. 너가 나를 본 순간 막 끌려가. 날 당겨줘, baby. I'm feeling so energetic. 오늘 밤 둘이 out of control, yeah. I'm feeling so energetic.
And 101 is, of course, the product of Produce 101. But, for those who haven't seen it...
Produce.
Yeah, right, indeed. But for those who haven't seen it, which is, definitely not me, because I've seen it. But for those who haven't, what is Produce 101? And again, I'm asking for people who, unlike myself, who aren't familiar, for those people, not me, because I definitely know what happened in Produce 101. So Nathan, I'll turn it over to you to sort of give the TLDR.
Okay, Peter. So, Produce 101, for quote unquote those of you who don't know, it's an Mnet survival show that has 101 trainees from all sorts of different companies. 101 Dalmatians, yes. 101 Korean Dalmatians.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's a survival show that has 101 different trainees from all sorts of entertainment companies out there. You name it: Pledis Entertainment, FNC Entertainment, Jellyfish, Cube. The list goes on and on. They would have those trainees compete to debut in an 11-member group, and all 101 trainees are put into classes ranked from A to F based on their skill level. A being the best trainees and F being the worst trainees, which is kind of the class that I would fall under if I was a trainee. So season 1 had 101 girl trainees, and which birthed IOI, and season 2 had 101 guy trainees, which we all know birthed 101. But unfortunately, the resulting groups aren't permanent groups, since it's hard to manage 11 trainees from all different companies. You just gotta imagine what it's like on the manager's behalf, on like how hard it is to like maintain all of the schedules from 11 different companies. Yeah. They're only allowed to promote for a certain amount of time, so IOI was only active for 1 year, and now 101 is set to promote for a year and a half. As an IOI stan, and as some of my viewers from YouTube know, I do believe that it's kind of unfair that they're giving 101 a longer promotional period than my queens, but honestly, there's not really anything we could do about it, right? If anything, it gives the fans more time to prepare themselves for the oncoming heartbreak that is their impending disbandment 17 months from now. Believe me, it took me almost half a year to recover from IOI, but I can safely say that I'm fully recovered now, seeing them all debut in their own permanent group/solo projects. Like Gugudan, Preston, and Wiki Miki. That's kind of the gist of Produce 101 in its entirety.
Okay, so that's good to know. For people who haven't seen the show, that is, because I've definitely seen it. But that's good to provide that background, Nathan. So
Peter, if you're not familiar, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Well, that's why we've got Nathan here on our episode. And I think, going on with a year and a half for Produce 101, I think, or 101 makes sense, as we saw him from IOI. There was a lot of momentum behind the group, and you might as well milk it for as much as you can. So it's their song Energetic. If you haven't seen the music video yet, how would you quickly summarize what happens?
Well, in the energetic music video, there honestly really isn't much of a storyline going on to it. There's no specific plot line in the music video. For those of you who are NCT fans, like their music video of Switch, Energetic shows the 101 boys having a blast together as a group with with all types of summer fun, like water balloon fights and spraying each other with water hoses and just quality fun in the sun. And the music video shows off their exceptional dance and visual skills, as we all are familiar with from their missions on Produce 101.
Yeah. And when you say visual skills, does that mean like boyish aegyo?
Maybe not aegyo, but maybe just like them like gazing like deeply and sensually to the camera. And showing off their winking. Yeah.
Oh yes. 10 out of 10 on the visual skills. If that's how we're rating it, then all of the sensuous gazes and into the camera can't be beat. That's the thing I remember the most.
Yeah, I think on the whole, it was just trying to show that, and it's almost ironic because originally they were competitors, but now they're all like boyish boyfriends. It seemed to be pretty fan servicey, at least for me who hasn't followed Produce 101. I thought it was funny. The YouTube description for the music video said that this title song, Energetic, reflects a strong attraction of you and me as 101 meets Wannable for the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but do you think they delivered on this concept, Nathan?
Well, if Daniel and Jaehwan serenaded me like that and gazed at me like that, then heck yeah. But passing aside, from all the gazes that all 11 members give the camera, I say they deliver pretty well.
Yeah, on my side, I didn't really listen to the lyrics the first time, I admit. I was too busy staring at all the boys. Oopsies.
Ooh, yeah.
But like honestly, besides the sign on the building that says "Crush on You," very obviously, I couldn't see much connection between the concept and the song itself. This is just another run-of-the-mill K-pop boys having fun in the sun video. I've lost count of how many of this concept we've seen so far.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, lyrically, it's interesting. Energetic seems to be a love song about a protagonist who can't control the way he feels about the object of his affection. So the chorus, for example, describes the dynamic between the subjects of the track, while the verses explore how the protagonist feels and what he'll do for this love. And I don't know if that was part of the strategy of 101 trying to appeal to all the fangirls and trying to be ambiguous of what that desire and object of their love is. And I think they're trying to make it seem like the girls can imagine that the boys are swooning over them, the fangirl.
But they weren't doing any swoony things.
I guess you're right. Yeah, and lyrically, it seems like that's what they're going to do. It's like, oh, I will do anything, to get your attention, or when you gaze at me, I feel energized or energetic, right?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't see that, at least in the visuals of the song. But maybe it's energized in a different way. I don't know. Maybe it's the girl who's swooning over the guy who now feels energetic, or guys.
Feeling so energetic.
All right, so moving right along. As y'all know, in our Daebak or Not reviews, we talk about the concept, the audio, and one of my favorite parts is always the choreo. And Peter and I are super excited to have you, Nathan, on the show today because we know you're going to have some unique insights into the really nice choreo of the video. So why don't you just tell us what you think?
All right, so Steph, I actually mentioned quite a bit of my thoughts in my actual reaction video to Energetic's music video over on my channel. All the more incentive for you guys to check it out. So yeah, there's a couple points. For one, I really enjoyed the choreo. I'm actually trying to learn it right now. I gotta say, it's really difficult too, because there's a lot of energy and a lot of intricacy, kind of like
I see what you did there.
Kind of like 17's choreo. The dance's energy and their intricacy really caught my eye, and I'm actually really surprised how they're able to dance so powerfully, but yet so cut knife precise. If you guys know the dance crew Kinjas, it kind of reminds me of their style. They're still so powerful, but yet precise at the same time. It's a really hard skill to have, let alone do while singing, so all the more props to 101 for being able to pull off such a feat like that. Sungwoo and Woojin, two of the 11 members, they especially did well since both of them are categorized as the main dancers of the group. The whole dance is all about body control. Basically, if anyone wants my advice if they're trying to learn the dance themselves, just keep in mind body control, body control, body control. That's the one thing I have to emphasize here.
I will definitely keep that in mind as I'm trying to learn the moves myself. I'll just keep saying body control, and then I'm gonna get it.
Body control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. No, that's really insightful.
Regarding the choreo, we had a tweet from one of our listeners, from Franklin Graves, and he said that the choreography was a lot of handwork, but not much footwork. And I don't know, I'm going to defer to you, Nathan, on this in terms of, having that balance between hands and feet.
I can definitely see his stance on it. However, I wouldn't say that the ratio is off. Because to balance off footwork and quote unquote handwork, it's kind of like a harder thing to do. Because when you're watching a dance performance, right? What's the one thing that you look at? Do you look at the legs or do you look at the upper portion of the body?
Yeah,
I'm not sure about anyone else out there, but I personally look at more of the upper portion of the body. That's where my eyes are drawn to. I can see more of their facial expressions, or I can see more of the angles they hit with their arms and such like that. I wouldn't really pay much attention to the legs. However, learning the dance itself, there actually is quite a bit of leg work to go in there. When I'm learning the dance, I'm learning it in a very tiny room because I don't have a lot of space to dance in. But one thing that I noticed while watching the dance itself is that even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of footwork, there actually is a lot going on in the lower portion of your body, because you have to position yourself at just the right angle to make it look correct. There's this one specific instance that I want to bring up was during Sungwoo's part, when he says "make me feel so high, michigeso." What they do is they have their hands in a 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock position, right? That's the position of the hands on the clock, right? He spins his left hand down in a circle, and what he would do after that is he would spin out his left knee and then his right knee. And I just think moments like those, when the intricacy is so high to that, it's okay to not have as intensive footwork as there is of upper body work, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Nathan. I think when I look at choreo, I look at the group cohesion as a whole, and having that that fluidity of movement across the entire body and across the entire group. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you have to have an equal distribution of both hands and feet, so to speak. Just your attention is in the right place as it flows. And so in that case, in that specific example that you list, I think, maybe there's a little more attention given to the hands, but I don't fault them for that. And I love the way they turn their bodies into props.
Definitely. And they do floor work at the last chorus too, so there's that.
Yeah, I wanted to quickly throw a shout out because when Franklin mentioned the footwork, this group didn't have much footwork, or we don't see many dances that focus on footwork, I immediately thought of Teen Top. Their choreo always has some really exciting shuffle work, footwork, tap dance work. And you know what? I would love to see more of that. Outside of their group. I want other groups to do more crazy footwork focused dances.
Yeah, that would be refreshing to see.
I personally loved the opening part of the choreo where the boys are all lined up with their hands moving as if they're keys of a piano, and then one of them, who is
that was beautiful.
Who's playing the piano?
It was Minhyun.
Yes. Minhyun, yes. He is sitting. Is he sitting on someone? This took me 2 or 3 views to fully understand what's happening, but I just thought it was really creative use of the massive number of boys in the group.
Definitely.
Was Minho sitting on someone?
I'm not sure if the members that I'm going to say are correctly, but he was sitting on Jihoon's and Daehui's knees. So Jihoon and Daehui, they were the piano chair, while all the other members were the actual piano themselves, and Minhyun was the actual person playing the piano.
That was a really dynamically interesting thing and a good way to take advantage of 11 bodies. Was there any sort of insider joke in determining of the 11 got to be the piano player?
There's only one thing that I could think of, but it's for like an old-time New East fans. For those of you who are new Wannable, Minhyun is the member who's playing the piano in the beginning formation, if we haven't made that clear already. But the only thing that I could think of is New East's debut teasers. For the fans who don't know, Minhyun is actually a New East member too. So during New East's debut, they released teasers for all 5 of their members, and Minhyun's teaser, it shows him playing a piano, but other than that, I can't really think of any other explanation.
Okay.
But that's
well,
pretty
I
much the
actually did
closest
look
thing
this
that I
up,
could
and it
think of.
turns out that Minhyun actually can play the piano. So I don't know if that was just the reason, like, okay, out of all 11 of us, you're the one who can play the piano. You get to, have that part choreographed.
That's a sweet deal.
So looking at the choreography, were there any other sort of like inside jokes or like self-references that we can see?
Well, there were quite a bit of references, not really much of inside jokes, but more of like references. Most are callbacks to Produce 101 performances. I'm gonna like say some of the timestamps here because I had some in my notes here. So one was a small moment of Park Ji-hoon popping at the 2-minute 25-second mark. For those of you who watched Produce 101, Peter, you got that right. We all know that Ji-hoon is known for his popping skills from the Get Ugly stage and the Maru Entertainment trainee's first ranking performance. There was also a second instance of Bae Jin Young, or how we all call him Baejin. There was a moment of his center spotlight in the second verse at the 1-minute 30-second mark. It's calling back to him being the center of Hands on Me, which was one of the last songs that they had on Produce 101, the other one being Always and Super Hot. And the last one that I could find was a callback to Open Up's choreography. That's Daniel's concept team back in Produce 101, with a whole padding neck movement at the 1-minute 6-second mark when they say, "Make me feel so high, michigeso."
Woo!
Yeah, like when they do the whole neck padding thing, that's actually the it's kind of like the same movement they do in the choreography as well, because I learned Open Up as well. So like that was kind of fun to see as like a fan that learns their dances.
And this is why I'm glad we have you, Nathan, to bring all these things up, just in case you haven't seen Produce 101.
Just gonna say that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Overall, it seems to be really celebrating and acknowledging the struggle and the journey that they went through to get to here.
Definitely.
I feel like there were a lot of moments in this music video that just made me want to pause and appreciate like the artistic composition of like the framing and the still images. I mean, there's moments where like they hold up like the cassette, and I don't think that has to do with anything, like not at all related to the story or the lyrics or anything, but it just raises the overall production value of the music video, which made me, I think, appreciate the song as a whole. But there was also a ton of broduction throughout. Earlier we were talking about
broduction,
what the visuals in this music video.
Yeah. I mean, watched it a few times and noticed that all the activities they're doing are like stereotypical 80s or 90s American teen boy things. I mean, they're doing baseball, bubble gum, somebody's reading Mad Mag, which I haven't seen forever, donuts. And like then as I'm watching this, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like low-key offended that this is what they think American culture is all about. We think we do all day. Like, wait a minute. I'm being stereotyped right now, but it's
oh god, no.
It's all in good fun.
Wait. So is that why there's a donut death? Because that's like what they think of,
it
like
must
Americans.
Be.
Like
Americans love their donuts.
I would have thought it would be even more like, if it was to be for Americans, I would have think it would be cheeseburgers in that bathtub. But
yeah,
that's another way to go for it too.
So with an 11-member group, it's really hard to find sufficient screen time for giving each member their own moment. And looking at the music video as a whole, we can see the camera lingers on members' faces, giving fans enough time to see their favorite for each individual member, to catch your bias. And the group has moments where members have time to show their personalities. The boys playfully interact with stage props, giving the music video a more dynamic feel, separate from the choreography, which again really carries through that personality and that boyish charm. At the end of the music video, we're having them all look up at the sky with a bunch of like back hugs, and I don't know if that's them trying to say like, here's us like looking forward and what's going ahead, but on the whole, I think it was just, gratuitous fan service.
There's also some like pianos out there in the field, so maybe more piano or acoustics to look forward to.
Maybe.
I can agree with Peter's thing, like them looking forward to the bright and colorful future ahead of them. Definitely, I wouldn't be able to catch that first glance, but yeah, I definitely see that explanation coming to fruition.
Yeah, maybe with more pianos.
Yay!
2 pianos.
All the pianos!
In terms of looking at the concept as a whole, including the visuals, the message, and the choreography, how would you guys rate this song? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest.
For the music video itself, I would give it like a 3.5, but 4 for the performance. So for me personally, the performance and choreo was spot on spectacular. I couldn't have asked for more from the 101 boys. However, for the music video, I low-key thought it was boring-ish. Don't kill me, wannables. I'm just like saying my opinion here. I personally enjoy music videos with a solid storyline. So if it had more of like story elements rather than just spraying each other with water hoses, looking to the camera with still faces, or maybe even having the camera playing the role of the wannable and the music video being like a first-person point of view or something like that, it would have brought my my score for the music video a little bit higher.
For me, I cut them some slack for not having a strong storyline, just because they have so many members and they're desperately trying to show each of them with equal screen time. So you can't really have much of a plot for individuals there. With what they were working with and what they were trying to do, I think the visuals are pretty strong. So I would say, like all together, this is a 3.8 video for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
like
a pretty high
I can
rating.
just say that I never wanted to like click away and go watch something else. I wanted to know what happens, and it was over before I knew. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, I felt like it ended pretty fast. The music video ended up pretty quickly too. Like I was kind of like, no, please don't end. Keep going.
Right. And that's that's a sign of a good music video conceptually, right? And that it makes you want to see and get more. So for me, maybe I'm the most critical of you guys. I gave it a 3. It set out to achieve several things. I think 1, show that these boys are now bros and that they're now all friends together. And through that broiness, like capture the hearts of some fangirls. And that they definitely succeeded. And they do it in ways that is really challenging for a 11-member group, as Stephanie notes, and carrying their personality through each of these like sort of like mini moments of them interacting with props or in these carefree summer days. They definitely delivered on each of those, but I guess maybe where I'm always looking for more is to have more cohesive story, having the lyrics match with the concept. And I felt like I got a bit of that dissonance there. So still really great, but this music video as a whole has incredible production value. Again, there are just moments where I pause and I'm like, wow, that was really nicely framed, or this is artistic. But it's just a very random assortment that doesn't deliver cohesion. And that's where I gotta ding it. So it's a 3 for me on the concept.
Yeah.
Moving on to the audio, the song itself. Just listening to this song, guys, like in the intro and the outro, those very simple and light piano chords like totally gave me goosebumps. I don't know what you guys thought of the intro.
I really liked it as well.
It was beautiful. I think it's like one of the most beautiful intros that I've heard in my K-pop lifetime, honestly.
Oh wow. And why do you say that?
Yeah, for me, I just thought like the piano at the beginning was simply beautiful, and I think it serves as the perfect introduction to like complementing certain members at certain points and at certain tones as well. So like the piano at the beginning, it perfectly complemented Minhyun's, Jihoon's, and Jinyoung's deeper styled vocals, and escalating from there for like maybe like the actual first verse and the chorus, where it escalates to Sungwoon's and Daehui's and Jaehwan's higher notes, and the chorus's crescendo melody, it really adds to the overall flutteriness of the song, like the parts at the chorus as well. I do think that the ending kind of seemed abrupt. Yeah, like if the music faded out rather than cutting off, like it would have seemed less abrupt if it would be in that sort of fashion, but probably some people might have thought it was the perfect way to end it. I might be wrong, but that's okay.
Well, I would meet you halfway on that, Nathan. So I think I agree that the ending was a little abrupt after the crescendo chorus, right at the very end. You get this in a lot of EDM music, and usually this part of the ending of the song is used for the outro for the DJ to beat match into the next song. But what I would have suggested is keep that piano chord going on the outro, but maintain that very steady kick drum that they've had throughout the entire song, right? Right after the intro. And that way you still had that pulse and it feels a little less of an abrupt ending. And I might do like an echo fade off of the last after the last word of the chorus. And that's awesome. A trope that you get in a lot of electronic trance house music, but that same technique would have worked here in my opinion.
Pro tips from our resident DJ. Love it.
Yeah.
But
I feel like if they would have ended it that way or taken your advice, it would remind me of some earlier Big Bang songs like Lies and Haru Haru. It would have that feel to it, and I would not be complaining. I love those songs. Yeah,
even Haru Haru, right? And that was a song composed by Dashi Dance, who follows that same technique.
Oh my gosh, you're right. This sounds like Dashi Dance.
Well, so Dashi Dance what he would do is he'd take that piano chord that we hear in both the intro and the outro, and then he'd add that pulsing kick drum throughout. Yeah. And that gives it that clubby sound that, Dashi Dance is known for. It's balancing that sentimental, delicate acoustic sound with a pulsing electronic beat. And absolutely, that would have worked well for this song.
Yeah, like Classic Kwai is really good at that style.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So there's a few examples that we can obviously list here. But I would have to say, on the whole, like having that pulse in this song by 101 makes it danceable without being too much of a heavy banger, right? It maintains that pulse, which balances that carefree feel from 101 Summer. And it has that energy that one might get from reacting to your crush, which is what the song is all about. So it's a nice blend between acoustic instrumentals and electronic production.
Yeah, the composition actually was it's really well done if you ask me myself. I might be wrong here, but their composer or their lyricist are actually members from Pentagon, Hui and Woo-suk to be exact. And I think those are the same two that produced their song Never from Produce 101 as well. And I think because the way how Never ends off is kind of the same way how Energetic ends off. Never also ends off in an abrupt cut. Whereas it's kind of the same concept here. So maybe they have a say in how this song was composed and ended off like.
Yeah, it seems to be a formula that these guys love to follow. In terms of the singing between the members, what I really loved was the flow between the rappers. And you listen to the rap of one of the members, and I didn't know this until I was looking at the color-coded lyrics version. I was like, wow, it almost the verse doesn't finish with one of the rappers and it seamlessly transitions into the next rapper. You would think that it's the same rapper going throughout, but they maintain that flow from each other, which is usually hard to do.
Yeah, Woojin and Daniel do a really good job melding their voices together when it comes to their verses. I think they did a really good job when it came to that.
Yeah, and I would say that the rapping as a whole gives the variety that the song needed. It doesn't go from the melodic ballads and chorus. I think it provides an appropriate disruption to what we had been hearing through the song. So guys, I want to ask you one hypothetical question, and we've been getting this quite a bit over the summer and for this year in 2017 in particular. Would this song have been better as a tropical house hit?
Kind of like how Card does, right?
Yeah.
and everyone else. I don't think I could take any more tropical house this summer. But if they had come out earlier, I would be like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if they like debuted at the same time Card debuted, then maybe, yeah, but that probably might have caused a fan war between the hidden cards and the wannables, so no one would want that fan war between the two fandoms, so yeah.
And in the video, I did notice that some of the scenes had them with a tropical palm frond looking background that reminded me very
I noticed
much
that too.
of Card.
Yeah, visually speaking, it almost would have worked for Tropical House. I don't know if we've just been getting into this this cliche a little too much for 2017.
Yeah. I mean, it works. It sounds nice, and yeah.
But I guess what Stephanie is saying is like, if they just did it earlier, and Nathan, to your point, like if they did this maybe at the late 2016, then that would have been good. But it's time for K-Tropical House to wrap it up. And this song, I think, succeeds without falling into that cliche.
Exactly.
So how would you guys rate this song in terms of 1 to 5 score, 5 being the highest?
For me, I would say a 4. Honestly, like, I think this whole song is like composed. Like, I don't think it could have been like any better, aside from Peter's input on the abrupt ending. Other than that, judgment aside, like, I think like the whole composition of it was like, it captures the whole feeling of like falling in love perfectly, and like those first initial feelings of like having that overall affection for someone, right? Yeah. Like, it perfectly encapsulates that. I don't know if I said that correctly. Yeah. But yeah, I would give it a 4.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Nathan says. This was a really fun, pleasant song to listen to. The electronic beat had me bouncing and smiling, and the combination of the music and the vocals in the beginning part reminded me of Shiny a lot. I don't know if anyone got that. It was a little bit like the Colorful song or album. And I'm a huge Shiny fan, so I'm just getting a lot of references to other groups and other songs that are close to my heart, and that made me like it a lot. So I'm gonna give it a 3.8 for me.
I thought it delivered in terms of what it's trying to convey in terms of the lyrics, and it captures on that emotion. But it wasn't a breakout, standout hit for me. I think there was hype leading into this release, and it delivered on that hype. And it met what I think we would expect from a song, from a debut single. But it's not something dramatically different from what we haven't seen or heard in the K-pop field. The production value is great for all the reasons that we've discussed, but it doesn't disrupt the model. So for that, I'm still giving it a 3.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's still a jam. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. It's a jam. Like, I'm going to be bopping to this song this summer, but...
Sure? A 3 is like failure on this show.
No. If failure in my book would be like more like in the 2 category. 3 is like it meets the bar, and 4 is like great, and 5 is like godlike. So it's not quite there. So
TVXQ comes back.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, TVXQ. Oh, man.
So taking everything that we've discussed into account, on the whole, would this song be Daebak or not?
I think I made this pretty obvious by now. For those of you Produce 101 fans that are listening right now, in words of our meme lord Ong Sung-woo, I rate this as a 정말, 진짜, real, 헐, 완전, 대박.
Oh my god.
That's what I say.
Wow. Korean 101. Yeah, for me it's Daebak as well, and you guys know why. I'm a fan.
Yeah, and despite all my critiques, this song is definitely Daebak.
Yeah.
Nathan, I'm so glad we could have you provide all this insider knowledge and background context behind this group. So thank you for joining us to discuss this song.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, y'all.
Yeah, so one other tweet that we got in just before we recorded today, listener Marie tweeted at us saying, great choreo for both songs. Definitely BTS vibe. Energetic, too formulaic, too many cliche English lyrics, like the bridge, help the overall song. And I want to give you guys a chance to weigh in and react to Marie's tweet.
Well, I could see where she would say, just because of the intense like isolations and body control.
Yeah.
In the choreo, it's not that the audio was BTS like, but maybe the choreo.
Maybe, yeah, I can see that.
And my hit replay is definitely BTS vibe, right? I mean, that you get that with
because Fire, Burn It Up, yeah.
Yeah, right. And Burn It Up is absolutely along that same level, and it has it follows some of the same big room house tropes in the music composition of the song.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
I guess Marie wasn't feeling it as much, and I definitely get the point about the lyrics being a little cliche, but
yeah, feeling good, I want to touch, something about freedom.
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Can I ask you guys another question? And Franklin Gray has also tweeted at us with this feedback, but he said that Boa Kwan did energetic better. So what do you guys think? Who was the better energetic?
Coming back from the old school. Boa Energetic was my jam back in the day. I loved that song. I played it over and over. So dang, I had to compare the two. I do think Boa comes out on top. That was just such a strong, like overwhelming beat, and this one's more understated and cute.
So girls on top.
Yes.
For me, because like I'm a third generation K-popper, so like I'm not really like in tune with the artists of back then. I'm not saying that that I don't listen
to make us feel old, Nathan.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I didn't mean to come off that way. No. Not to say that I don't listen to like the other artists back in the day. High respect for them, honestly. But I just think like that like Boa and 101 are like on two totally different levels. I don't think like I can really like compare in terms of like is this song better than this song? Is this performance better than that performance? It's all totally different. I can't really like put in my critique on that
comparison.
Yeah,
but I thought I would just ask as our listener tweeted it in. Maybe a couple other like closing questions. Do you think 101 learned any lessons from IOI?
There's like, it leaves a lot to think about, right? Because like IOI is at like such like a high legendary example for all the seasons, if there are going to be more than 2 seasons of Produce 101 to come, because like the way how IOI achieved so much success in under 12 months is just like, it's astounding how they're able to get that much love and support, not only from South Korean fans but worldwide as well. Yeah. I remember watching like the KCON stages when IOI was here in LA. I remember like seeing like the crowd just like go like so crazy, like more over BTS, if I can say so myself.
Oh, wow.
Like whoa, like how does like one girl group from one survival show, how do they garner such like international love and attention? And I think 101, they have like as much as I love 101, they have like large shoes to fill, honestly. Like they have like such like a huge act to follow up. But if anything, I would say that for them to like continue to stay humble and just them to continue to like be themselves, because like us Swanables and all the Produce 101 fans out there, like we love them for how they presented themselves to us. Like we love them for who they are. Some of them may not be the best vocalists or rappers out there. Some of them may be sub vocals or sub rappers, but we love them for their personality, and like I hope they continue to be themselves and be them and to be the artists that we all initially fell in love with during Produce 101.
I knew you would hit that one out of the park, Nathan. So glad you're on the show today.
Oh, thank you.
We had IOI, we've had 101. I wonder what the third season group name will be.
Oh gosh, I can't even think of any other possible names that could be out there.
It's gonna be some funny pronunciation of 101 in some way.
Yeah, I don't know how many.
The name of 101 is pretty clever.
What do you guys think of 101's future and viability as a group? I mean, they've got some extra runaway to work with here from IOI.
Well, I can definitely see 101 like truly succeeding on the charts too. I mean, like looking at like how they're doing on the charts right now, like sure they're not winning like #1 best performance or anything like that, but they're still doing relatively well for rookie groups nowadays, because like you know how there's like so many boy groups that are debuting nowadays, and like with dare I say it, some of the same concepts that some of the popular groups are doing. But I can definitely see 101 like triumphing and being like one of the top groups out there, simply because of both their personality and their skills as well. Like the members themselves are all pretty well rounded. Like one shining example would be their center Kang Daniel. Because he says he's a rapper, and as we all heard from Energetic, he does rap very well, and he melts pretty well with the other members as well. But not only that, he's a rapper, but he's a really decent vocalist as well. From Produce 101, all of the missions, he says he's a rapper in his audition videos, but every single mission leading up to the finale, he's only been getting vocal parts. And that all the more shows his overall well-roundedness as an artist. So I think like factors like that can take 101 pretty far.
I might take the more cynical perspective here, and I'll say that publicity does a world of good. So having an entire reality show to drum up interest leading to a group's debut gets a lot of interest.
Yeah, it's the new normal now.
Yeah, well, we saw that with 16. Of course, we saw it with IOI. We saw it with the Icon and Winner. Although I think with Icon and Winner, it didn't succeed as well. Not to the same level that we've seen with IOI and 16.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And maybe that was...
And Monsta X too.
Yeah, there you go. So, and 17.
Yeah, 17.
I think it was more of a reality show than survival show though, because none of them were going to be eliminated in the first place.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carrots out there.
It's an interesting model. If like that's how you decide how groups are assembled in the future moving forward. I don't know. It kind of fulfills that fantasy. Like, you know, if you could assemble your dream team of like K-pop members, like what do you do? And having a TV show to promote that sort of like allows you to fulfill and live that through that fantasy. I just can't wait for Produce 101 to have maybe a show where they have boys and girls together.
Yes.
Oh, co-ed Produce 101.
That's what I was going to say. Because there's going to be so much drama.
Yes.
Like who's dating who?
Which we all know.
Ooh, all K-pop, where are you at though?
Yeah.
Right?
And then on top of having co-ed, it would be great to have like a veterans Produce 101. So like imagining like you know, people who've already been in groups for a while coming together for a TV show.
Oh, you know that's
That'd be
coming.
Fun.
That's going to cause up a
surprised.
lot of stir in the community.
Yeah. My
I'm
biggest
surprised
fantasy,
they haven't done that already, but you know what? Like, I would bet money that is on the way. There's going to be like All-Stars season, veterans.
I could only hope.
Please don't end up like America's Best Dance Crew season 7.
I just keep hoping for my dream team, which will have T.O.P. and a bunch of sexy girls. And it'll
Wait
be
a
called
minute.
Girls on Top. And
Oh my God.
that's my dream.
You've been
K-pop
waiting
team.
for so long to say that.
Yes. Okay.
Girls on top.
Last episode, we reviewed Girls' Generation and their song Holiday and All Night. And man, did the So-Wons come at us and tell us everything we got wrong about that last episode. And you know, honestly, thank you, So-Wons, for setting the record straight in terms of what we missed. So I wanted to acknowledge a couple of those things. So one of our major critiques in Holiday was that the girls looked really young, especially for a veteran, 10-year-old group. A lot of the So-Wons pointed out to this is that this was because it's a way to look back from where they were 10 years ago. Although that wasn't formally confirmed by SM, that seems to be the approach that a lot of the So-Wons and fans are taking. We also critique that Holiday didn't have a very cohesive theme. Well, I guess maybe it required more of a look from a So-Won to call out, but each of the sets from, the Hollywood signs to the dance studios and the lighting and the diners were all throwbacks to their previous single. So that's why it was more of a acknowledgement of everything that they've done to date and celebrating those 10 years. And that makes a lot more sense to us now. Of course, I also said that it looked like they were in a bar, but they were in a diner. Again, a throwback to one of their older singles. So thank you, So Ones, for calling us out on what we got wrong, but I wanted to acknowledge that. You know, what we were ultimately trying to say in that last episode was that All Night is a great direction for SNSD moving forward, and that's a good evolution and a new revolution for K-pop for this modern age. So that's it for that last episode on Girls' Generation. Loyal listener Ricky Woodson also weighed in on Holiday and said that it felt a bit too safe, and you can catch all of his comments on our SoundCloud page. So that's it for the Kpopcast for this week. I'm not exactly sure what we'll address next week, but thank you, Nathan, for coming on our show for this week. It was really great to have your expertise, and we'll have to have you come back again sometime. So if there's another group you want to stand with us or fanboy over, we're happy to have you on.
Yeah, I'd be glad to be back, y'all. Just let me know when.
And as a side note for our listeners, like, I knew to bring in Nathan as I saw him at Fanime, and he requested a few songs to dance and perform to, and he was cosplayed in Produce 101. I was like, okay, yeah. Nathan is clearly a fan here. We've got to have him on the show.
Yeah. I met DJ Peter at this convention called Fanime, and we had this one K-pop dance party, and he was our DJ, and I kept requesting him to play the theme song of Produce 101, Nayana, right? And because I wanted to dance to it, because I'm wearing the cosplay, so like, what better way to celebrate than to do something like that, right? But yeah, that's how it all happened. That's the beautiful story of how I met yours truly.
Okay.
And the rest is history, y'all.
Aw, yeah.
All right, well, that's it for this week, guys. Be sure to, subscribe, rate, tell your friends, introduce your K-pop friends to podcasting, and podcast as a medium as a great way to listen, engage, and talk about K-pop. You know how to get in touch with us, as always. I'm on Twitter at DJ Peter Lowe. Nathan, where can people find you online?
You can search me on Instagram, also at SYJofficial, but primarily go to my YouTube channel at SYJofficial and hit the subscribe button to become a silent N today.
And Stephanie?
He said a silent fan. I love it.
Yeah, that's the subscriber fandom name, so yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at sparker2.
And don't forget, give us a tweet at the Kpopcast. We obviously get a lot of our feedback from that handle. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys all next week.
Bye.